My dad would be single if it was me. Ain't nobody taking me to Olive Garden for my 60th fucking birthday.
Hitting on your parents is a wild take. Subscribe, let's talk about it.
Listen to how cringe this is. My mom had her 60th birthday this week, and I called my dad and asked him what they did for dinner. He took her to Olive Garden. He was like, she wanted Italian and it's right by us and we have a gift card. That's the difference between our generation and theirs. My dad would be single if it was me. Ain't nobody taking me to Olive Garden for my 60th fucking birthday.
That's probably why you had to call and ask them what they did, because they didn't invite you. Right? they didn't invite you. They knew this is how your take on things are. But in all seriousness, comparing yourself to what's going on with your family's relationship, your parents' relationship, who are still together at when your mom is 60 years old, I think that would be maybe a recipe to go and try to emulate, not to critique. If it's working for them, what is the issue? So many times we look back and we either one, we say we want to love like they had back in the day, or two, we say, look how miserable women were. They had to stay in this relationship because they weren't making money. What happens if you allow for the truth that some people realize, especially generations before, it was better together? That you're going to have to soften your edges on some things because they're not really important. You want to be right and correct in your convictions all the time, to the detriment of the entire relationship. He's not going to take me to Olive Garden. Why? Because they're on a fixed income, because they have a coupon, because it works for them. Their relationship wasn't built on where you took me versus what can we do better together, the duty we have to each other. Older generation kind of understood this better than we do. The internet made comparing our lives the easiest thing in the world to do, and we ran with it. And not only do we compare lives, and sometimes that's natural, just you do it with your friend group, you do it with your family, but you became, you started to covet a lie. People started lying to make themselves feel better, to make you feel worse, and to you validate them by congratulating things they're doing. And all they're doing is showing you a curated life that's a lie. You think that it's supposed to be like this, but reality is way, way, way different. But you have no concept of that. You have no real understanding of that. And even you at your big millennial age can't seem to grasp that. They went to Olive Garden. You think Olive Garden is a bad thing. What? Because you had a bad experience at Olive Garden, or because people said Olive Garden is a bad thing? What is it? If it's good for your parents, what does it matter? If it's good for another couple, what does it matter? You're so quick to think that the world is the way you see it exclusively, and which would be fine if you were in the world. But we're in our phones. We're looking at social media and thinking the comment section is enough of a sample size to say, look how they are here. They must be like this everywhere else in the world. No. This is such a curated amount of BS that this is where you're actually sitting down and dining. You're eating the slop up and thinking, I'm now going to dictate the terms of my life based on this. And it's no wonder why the people online are having such a hard time with relationships. You're thinking that this is a standard. This is the rubric in which I judge all others. And you keep, coming up short again and again and again and again. But listen, before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss no uploads. We're still going, so I'm still dropping 2 a day. We got a live stream coming up today at 7 p.m. Central. So make sure you join us there. Lots of laughs, subscriber Sundays. This is time where we can actually converse, have, give back. We're going to have a topic. We don't have an idea, but if we get sidetracked, we get sidetracked. We're just enjoying ourselves. But look, we see this and we're highlighting this video because this is so commonplace. Yes, it's egregious for you to be hating on a couple that has been together, also a couple that is responsible for raising you. I don't come from a culture that you could openly sort of get at your father like that. That doesn't sound cringe to you. That's I know it's not the same thing, but are you saying if someone took your Olive Garden on your 60th birthday, you have people that are widowed that would love to just go to McDonald's with their deceased spouse. You have people that just appreciate this is the thing we do together. And you're losing the plot when you're thinking it always has to be remarkable. It always has to be Instagram worthy. Otherwise it don't count. The internet rules, Pixar doesn't count. But in reality, which the rest of us should, often go back and touch, is very different. People are collaborative. People are understanding of people's pockets. We're here together. We're entering this next phase of our life. We're retired. We're living on a fixed income. We got to make sure this makes sense. But I'm not going to not do something for you. Hey, you know what's different for us? We're going to go to Olive Garden. That's good. Comparing your life, especially your life, to your parents and saying, I can never. Okay. Show us, right? Show the rest of the world that this is your standard in which you want to go. That's fine. You know, here we never judge people and say you should not get that. You should not be allowed to have that. Go for it. We just know the reality is most people understand the game. Most people understand the economic situation of the day. And most people know that trying to, run after this highlighted and curated lifestyle is going to leave you destitute. Because one, you don't see what's happening behind the scenes. You just see the flash, you see the pomp, and you think this is how life and relationships are supposed to be. But we never stop and say to the people that are actually in long-term committed marriages, you never stop and say, what is it that you're doing? And not for the gram, for your own edifice, for you to go and sit down and say, okay, what's happening? I want to have this type of thing. What did you deal with? And before you come quick to reject it, internalize it, see what's actually being said. The advantage that a lot of our parents have and the generation before us, they didn't have the internet. They didn't have anyone's life to compare themselves to. They had an ability to focus inward, unlike most of us have today. Our attention spans are cut down to, less than 3 seconds. So how am I supposed to entertain you for 30 years? Why do you think it's my job to entertain you rather than think we're coming together and we have a duty to one another? We've lost that because we think the next best things are around the corner. Then we hide behind things that we call our preference, our standard. If you cannot adhere to this, then there's something wrong with you. Then I have to go out and find someone that will. Find someone that will. Find someone that will. Until you realize you get to a point where no one is looking for that. For what the package you're presenting, no one is looking for that. No one is looking to take you to Olive Garden at 60. No one's looking to be around you at 60. You have this closed loop system where if they don't adhere or meet your qualifications, there's something wrong with them. But do not worry, because there's another thing around the corner, then another thing around the corner, then another thing around the corner. But we never interview those people, right? Because we're getting to that age, right? The millennials like us that we pioneered the internet. We're getting to the age where we're aging out of the dating game. The older millennials are aging out of the dating game. By aging out of the dating game, I mean the aging out of desirability. The men that haven't done anything with their lives, that haven't really significantly made anything, became impressive, don't have any type of status, money, or drive, ambition, you're aging out of the dating game. You can't hide behind, hey, I'm older and men age like fine wine. Yeah, when you curate it, when you actually take care of it, when you ferment it properly, yes, you age like fine wine. You have to do the work. It takes a lot of work. Women, in terms of their physical desirability, starts to drop off. So we're getting at that age where we can start looking and seeing these real stories. But we have to separate it from the internet. We have to separate it from a quick reel, a quick short, a quick story time. No, we have to talk real talk. And those real conversations are not being, broadcast online. They're happening in closed door sessions. They're happening between close friends, confidants, where people are having conversations saying, I don't want to be alone for the rest of my life, but it's looking like that. Are they, broad enough? Can they go deep enough to realize, yeah, it's because of the things I held on to, the ideas that I had that I let go unchallenged. I said, I deserve X, Y, and Z. I never went out and tried to earn anything. I never went out and tried to say, how can I be more desirable towards the person or the archetype that I want? I just simply adhered to what I believed. And I believed that, I wouldn't be with my father if he took me, to Olive Garden. If a man took me to Olive Garden, I wouldn't be with him. Cool. You hold on to that. Let us know in 10 years. Let us know in 20 years. Let us know honestly. Right? This is male and female. This is honestly. Let us know honestly how adhering to those principles actually got you what you wanted in life. That's how we need to frame most of these things. Is this moving you closer to the thing that you want or pulling you farther away? Is this helping you maintain that fire, or is it pissing on that log? If you can't be honest with yourself, then we certainly don't expect you to be honest with us. But none of us can have an honest conversation when we're inundated by what you see on social media. You should see this page on social media. But when you're taking your direction from people that are telling you exactly what should be the case. Over here in the channel, we like to tell you, think, right? Find a nuance, find a seam. Make sure this makes sense for what you want. Don't let society automatically give you the playbook and you simply run it. Then you wake up near in your 40s, in your 50s and say, I was creating a life. I was curating a life I never wanted. I never selected. It was just defaulted to me because I never made a decision. There's so many of us that are going to go to our grave with that very same playbook. I never thought about what I actually wanted, what was important to me. I did the things because they said this was what a successful person did. You see some of the content coming out lately where women are saying, I never wanted this. I was lied to by this, by this, by this. Yeah, but now you realize it's at 43, 50, 60. Now you turn around and say things like, yeah, I said I never wanted kids, but I secretly did. Women feel this especially true, but men also. There's a certain amount of time in the rubric on the timeline of our existence where your 20s is for trying different things, experimenting and trying to find a niche that you can double down on, triple down on, and set the foundation for the rest of your life. How are you trying to set a foundation at 45 for the rest of your life when you probably only got so much time left? Now you want to realize I should have been on the gas. There's not much road left in that sense. This is not to say it can't happen. Men have a easier time getting things together later on in their life. Life isn't so kind to women. So when you want to critique people that are living the life that you actually secretly want, are you helping yourself or you're hurting yourself? Listen, I may be off base. You know, that's very normal. That happens quite often. But let me know down in the comments what you think. If you see other videos on your screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And of course, if you listen to sound my voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. We're just trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.